All right, muchachos, in this video, we're going to talk about reflexive verbs. In Spanish, it's the verbs where you'll see there's a se attached to it. For example, on your vocab, you have verbs like afeitarse. So this is just a regular AR verb, and they attach the se to the end to indicate that it's reflexive, okay? And what a reflexive verb is when the subject and object are the same. Okay, so we have some verbs that that they could be either. For example, the verb lavar, to wash. If I'm washing my face or I'm washing my own hands, that's reflexive because I'm the subject and I'm the object. Okay, if I'm washing the car or I'm washing the dishes, that's not reflexive because we're different. The subject and the object are different, okay? The other thing with reflexive verbs in Spanish is that we don't use possessive adjectives. So for example, in English, you say like, I wash my hands. So we say, we use this my for reflexive. In Spanish, you say me lavo. Okay, so we have our reflexive pronoun. We change the verb to the yo form, and you say las manos. These two words here tell me, this is a V, by the way. These two words tell me that I am washing something on myself, and then I just have to identify the item. I don't need to say my hands, because I already got that from this part of the sentence, okay? A little different, but you'll see that where they're using the article, the el, the la, the los, and the los, instead of the possessive adjective in English, okay? In Spanish. Let's see. Okay, so let's say that, here's a new thing we have to do too when we have reflexive pronouns. You have to, so this is kind of after we conjugate the AR, the verb part of it, you have to account or add in the reflexive pronoun. Okay? So this we just need to account for this little say. And our rules still apply for this reflexive pronoun in that if we conjugate this, we're going to have to move it in front. If we leave this alone, we can leave it attached, but usually there's another verb that we've conjugated. Okay, I'll give you some examples later. But let's do a little chart that has our reflexive pronouns. Here, reflexive pronouns, I'm going to put it right underneath there, okay? So they are me, te, nos. We see those all the time. Indirect objects, direct objects, we always see the me, te, nos. And down here, these are the same. It's just se, okay? So this not only indicates that it's going to be reflexive, but it could also be the reflexive pronoun we're going to use. So I'm saying like he is shaving. I would use se because that would work for el or ella down here. And I would say se afeita. I would conjugate this to the he or she form with the a on the end, and then move the se in front. But if I'm shaving, I change this to afeito, the yo form, and I change this to me, but I still move it in front. Me afeito. Okay. Okay. So let's do a couple of verbs as examples. Okay. So let's do the verb like bañarse. Now, in Spanish, they have a lot of reflexive verbs that don't really work as reflexive verbs in English. Like, for example, the verb dormirse. A lot of times in this, like this, bañarse would be to bathe oneself. Okay, that works. Because you could also be bathing the dog or your little brother, little sister. But this works. Bañarse is reflexive, to bathe oneself. But when you have a verb like dormirse, it's like to go to sleep oneself. It's like that's not really how we say it in English. But anyway, there's a lot more reflexive verbs in Spanish than we have in English. So some of them don't really translate as reflexive verbs, but it's all good. All right, so let's do this. So now notice my bañar, I'm going to just do baño. So bañ, that's my stem, and I add an O for the yo form. Bañas. baña, bañamos, and bañan. Okay, now I did write these a little close here, these two, but we're only halfway done. If you do that on the test and you just do this part, you'll only get half credit, okay? Because we still have to account for the reflexive pronoun. So I'm going to put a me here. So me baño, te bañas, se baña, nos bañamos, that goes right there, and se bañan, okay? So that now it's complete as a reflexive verb, all right? So just the verb part of it would get you half credit, but with the reflexive pronoun, then you would. That's how you get the full credit. Okay, okay. Let's do dormirse. We talked about that one already, and this one is a little. Dormir is a stem changer, so we just conjugate that one normally. So we have duermo, duermes, duerme. Remember, nosotros does not stem change, so we have dormimos and duermen. Okay, we're halfway done. Right, that would get you half credit because we took care of the verb. That's conjugating the verb dormir, and now we got to account for our reflexive pronoun. So again, we're going to put a me out here, a te, a se, nos, and se, and now we're good. So all these reflexive verbs, all the ones that end in se on your vocab list, you just conjugate the verb like you normally would. And I think we've seen most of them before. So conjugate that verb and then go back in and add the reflexive pronoun, okay? Now, if you're trying to, let me erase these down here. And let's say you want to say, I am going to take a bath. Right, so you say voy a, wrote a D instead of a B, what the? Voy a bañar. Okay, now because I'm gonna bathe myself, this say is gonna change to a me. So I can either, remember the first rule is you can put it in front of the conjugated verb, which would be right here, or you can attach it to the infinitive, which would be right there. All right, so it could be me voy a bañar, or voy a bañar me. Okay, either place is fine, not both though. Okay, over here it's like I need to go to sleep, or let's say she needs to go to sleep. So ella necesita dormir. Like this girl's tired, she needs to go to bed. All right, so now I still have to account for this say. Well, if it's she, I'm still gonna use say. That's my reflexive pronoun for her, but I could put it here, again, because I have the conjugated verb, or I could attach it here to dormir because I have an infinitive. Okay, so either place is fine. All right? Okay, I think that's about it on reflexive verbs.